My beloved child, I am speaking to you now because something is stirring in the unseen, and your spirit has already felt it. There has been a quiet trembling in your heart, a sense that the ground beneath your life is shifting ever so slightly. You may not have words for it. You may not even understand it fully. But you know. Deep inside, you know that something is changing. Get ready, my child. This is not a message of fear. It is not a warning of disaster. It is the sound of movement in the heavens on your behalf. I have been watching you walk through ordinary days, carrying silent prayers, holding on to hope even when nothing around you seemed to move. You wondered if I was working. You questioned if anything would ever break through. But all along, I have been arranging what you could not see. Something unexpected is coming. And I say unexpected because it will not arrive in the way you imagined. It will not follow the script you wrote in your anxious moments. It will not match the timelines you carefully planned. It will be my doing, precise, intentional, and filled with purpose. That is why I tell you now, prepare your heart. You have grown comfortable in survival mode. You have learned how to endure, how to cope, how to make peace with just enough. But I did not create you only to survive. I created you to witness my faithfulness in ways that stretch your understanding. What is coming will interrupt the routine you have settled into. It will shake loose the dust of discouragement. It will call you out of the quiet corner where you have been waiting. Do not mistake the stillness around you for stagnation. A seed beneath the soil looks forgotten, but inside it, life is forming. Roots are pushing deeper before the first sign of green ever appears. In the same way, I have been developing strength within you. I have been aligning moments, conversations, opportunities, and even divine encounters that will unfold at the right second. This is why your spirit feels alert. This is why you cannot fully relax into complacency. I am awakening you gently. I am whispering before I thunder. I am preparing you before I reveal. Get ready, my beloved child. Release the thought that tomorrow will look exactly like yesterday. Release the belief that nothing ever changes for you. I am not limited by what you see. I am not bound by the patterns of your past. The unexpected thing I am bringing is not random. It is appointed. It carries answers to prayers you barely remember praying. It carries restoration for places you stopped believing could heal. Lift your eyes. Quiet your doubts. Lean into me. The season you are stepping into will not look like the one behind you. You are standing at the edge of a divine shift, and I would not tell you to prepare unless I had already set it in motion. Something unexpected is coming, and you, my child, will be ready. My beloved child, while you were waiting for something dramatic, something loud and undeniable, I was working in the quiet. While you were looking for signs in the sky, I was shaping you in the hidden places of your heart. You thought the silence meant absence. You mistook stillness for neglect. But I was closer than your breath, carefully preparing you for what is now drawing near. There were days when you felt overlooked, moments when you wondered why others seemed to move forward while you remained in the same place. You questioned the slow pace of your life. You asked me, why is nothing changing? Yet what you could not see was the depth of the work taking place beneath the surface. Consider a craftsman shaping a vessel from clay. The most important pressure is not applied when the crowd is watching. It happens in the steady turning, in the gentle but firm hands that press and refine. If the clay is rushed, it collapses. If it is not shaped thoroughly, it cracks under pressure later. I have been shaping you with that same care. Every delay, every closed door, every season that felt uneventful was not punishment. It was preparation. You have grown stronger in ways you do not yet recognize. The patience you learned when answers did not come quickly has formed endurance within you. The disappointments you survived have made your faith deeper, not weaker. Even the tears you shed in private watered parts of your spirit that were dry and weary. Nothing was wasted. Not one sleepless night. Not one silent prayer. Not one moment of doubt that you brought honestly before me. I have been teaching you how to trust without constant reassurance. I have been training your heart to remain steady even when circumstances shift. You thought you were simply surviving another difficult chapter, but in truth, you were being equipped. What is coming requires the strength you now carry. It requires the maturity that was formed in hidden battles. It requires the humility that only quiet seasons can produce. There were relationships that did not progress as you expected. Opportunities that slipped through your fingers. Plans that unraveled just when you felt certain they would succeed. You mourned those losses. You questioned your path. But I was guarding you from stepping into places that were not aligned with your purpose. I was strengthening your discernment. I was teaching you to lean on my voice rather than the applause of others. Do you remember the times you chose peace instead of reacting in anger? The moments you held your tongue when you could have spoken harshly? The quiet decisions to forgive, even when it hurt? Those were not small things. Those were victories. Those were signs of growth. You were becoming ready. Preparation rarely feels exciting. It often feels ordinary, even frustrating. But think of a tree during winter. It appears lifeless. Its branches are bare. Yet beneath the ground, its roots are reaching deeper into the soil, storing strength for the coming season. When spring arrives, the growth seems sudden, almost miraculous. But it is not sudden at all. It is the result of unseen preparation. In the same way, what will soon unfold in your life may look sudden to others. They may say, "It happened so quickly." But you and I will know the truth. We will know about the quiet nights, the silent endurance, the faith you held on to when you had every reason to give up. My beloved child, I have been preparing your character before elevating your circumstances. I have been building your inner foundation before expanding your outer world. Because what I am bringing is not temporary. It is not fragile. It will require stability within you. And you now carry that stability. So do not regret the silence. Do not resent the waiting. Do not dismiss the ordinary days you thought meant nothing. They were sacred. They were strategic. They were filled with my presence. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not unqualified. You are prepared. My beloved child, when you hear the word unexpected, your heart sometimes tightens. You have lived through surprises that brought pain. You have faced sudden changes that shook your stability. So when I tell you that something unexpected is coming, part of you braces yourself. Part of you prepares for impact. But listen closely to me now. What I am bringing into your life is not meant to harm you. It is not sent to break you. It is not designed to steal your peace. I do not move in your life to create chaos. I move to create alignment. The fear you feel when you think about change is rooted in memories of loss. You remember doors that closed without warning. You remember news that altered your plans. You remember moments when the ground shifted and you felt unprepared. But I am not repeating your past. I am redeeming it. The unexpected thing I am sending will not carry the same weight as former disappointments. It will carry my hand upon it. Imagine a child asleep in a dark room when a storm begins outside. Thunder rolls, and lightning flashes across the sky. The child wakes in fear, not understanding what is happening. But the father enters the room, lifts the child gently, and holds them close. The storm still rumbles, but the fear fades because of the father's presence. The storm was never meant to harm the child. It was simply weather passing through. In the same way, not every sudden movement in your life is a threat. Some are simply transitions carrying you toward safety and growth. I see how quickly your thoughts can spiral. When something changes, you immediately search for what might go wrong. You prepare for disappointment before joy has a chance to arrive. But I am asking you now to shift your expectation. Instead of bracing for loss, begin preparing for blessing. Instead of assuming the worst, allow hope to rise. The unexpected can be beautiful. A barren field can suddenly bloom after the first rain. A long silent phone can ring with news that changes everything. A chance encounter can open doors that years of effort could not unlock. I am not limited by your routines. I am not confined to your predictions. I delight in surprising you with goodness. Yes, change can stretch you. Yes, new seasons require adjustment. But stretching is not breaking. Growth is not destruction. When a seed pushes through soil, it must break its shell. That breaking is not death, it is transformation. In the same way, what may feel unfamiliar at first will not be a sign of loss. It will be a sign that you are stepping into something greater. You have asked me for more clarity, more purpose, more peace, more stability. Sometimes the answer to more begins with movement. It begins with a shift that disrupts the old pattern. If I left everything exactly as it is, you would remain confined within limitations you have already outgrown. I see potential in you that requires new space. So do not let fear speak louder than my promise. I am not sending confusion. I am sending direction. I am not sending instability. I am establishing you. I am not removing good things to leave you empty. I am rearranging what surrounds you so that what truly belongs can take its place. Trust my character. Have I not carried you through what you thought would destroy you? Have I not sustained you in moments when you believed you would collapse? The same hands that upheld you then are guiding you now. The unexpected is coming, but it is wrapped in my intention. It carries my protection. It flows from my love. When it arrives, I do not want you shrinking back. I want you standing firm, remembering these words. Let anticipation replace dread. Let faith quiet the old memories that try to warn you against hope. You are not walking toward disaster. You are walking toward divine orchestration. And I am already there, waiting to unfold it for you. My beloved child, there is something you must understand about my timing. I may seem slow to you in one season, and then suddenly, everything shifts at once. What felt unmoving can begin to flow like a river after heavy rain. When I decide it is time, events that once resisted you will begin to align. Doors that would not open will swing wide. Conversations you feared will unfold with surprising ease. When I move, I do not struggle. You have grown accustomed to gradual progress. Step by step, inch by inch. You have learned to accept small advances because large breakthroughs seemed rare. But there are moments in life when I compress time. What could have taken years can unfold in months. What seemed impossible can rearrange itself in a single conversation, a single opportunity, a single decision. Think of dawn breaking after a long night. For hours, darkness appears unchallenged. The sky remains black, and nothing suggests that change is near. Yet in a brief moment, light begins to edge across the horizon. Within minutes, what was hidden becomes visible. The shift feels sudden, but it was always scheduled. The sun did not rush. It arrived precisely when appointed. so it will be with you. The season of preparation has been steady and quiet, but the season of manifestation may move quickly. This is why I am calling you to readiness. Not panic, not anxious striving, but readiness of heart, readiness of faith, readiness to say yes when I nudge you forward. Sometimes my children miss swift movements because they are still focused on yesterday's disappointment. They hesitate, thinking the new opportunity is just another setup for failure. They delay responding because they are still recovering from past delays. But I am telling you now so that you will not hesitate when the moment comes. When I open a door, step through it. When I prompt you to speak, speak. When I place something in your path that feels aligned and peaceful, do not overanalyze it until doubt suffocates it. I am capable of moving quickly without causing confusion. My speed does not create chaos. It reveals alignment that was already forming behind the scenes. There will be a moment when you look back and realize how swiftly things turned. You will say, "How did this happen so fast?" And I will remind you of all the silent groundwork that made it possible. The roots were deep. The foundation was solid. The connections were arranged. So when the shift comes, it will not collapse under pressure. Be spiritually alert, my child. Not tense. Not suspicious. Alert like a watchman who knows dawn is near. Keep your heart open. Keep your expectations lifted. Keep your spirit sensitive to my voice. I will not shout over noise to reach you. I will guide you with clarity. There is a difference between rushing and responding. Rushing is driven by fear of missing out. Responding is driven by trust. I am not asking you to force anything into motion. I am telling you that when I move, you must move with me. Do not cling to old stability out of habit. Do not reject new beginnings because they arrive faster than you anticipated. I have already calculated every detail. I have already considered every variable. What feels sudden to you is carefully timed in my wisdom. Prepare yourself for acceleration. The same God who allowed you to walk slowly through preparation is the God who can usher you quickly into fulfillment. When the shift begins, let faith anchor you. Let peace steady you. Let gratitude overflow from you. For when I move, my beloved child, it will be swift. My beloved child, before the new season fully unfolds, there is something I am gently asking of you. Open your hands. Release what you have been holding on to. Not everything that carried you through the last season is meant to travel with you into the next. You have grown attached to certain patterns because they once protected you. You built habits around survival. You guarded your heart carefully. You lowered expectations so disappointment would not hurt as deeply. Those strategies help you endure difficult days. I do not condemn you for that. I understand why you did what you had to do. But what protected you in one season can limit you in another. If your hands are full of yesterday's pain, how will you receive tomorrow's promise? There are thoughts you have rehearsed so often that they feel like truth. Thoughts that say, "This is just how life is for me." Thoughts that whisper, "Do not hope too much." Thoughts that insist, "Nothing ever changes." Those beliefs were formed in moments of exhaustion. But they are not my voice. They are echoes of old battles, and I am inviting you to lay them down. Imagine a traveler preparing for a long journey. If they insist on carrying every object from their past, their steps will grow heavy. The weight will slow them. Eventually, they will become too tired to continue. Wisdom is not found in carrying everything. It is found in discerning what is necessary for where you are going. I am helping you discern now. There may be relationships that have quietly reached their natural conclusion. Not every goodbye is dramatic. Some simply fade because their purpose had been fulfilled. Release them without bitterness. Trust that I am capable of bringing new connections that align with your next assignment. Holding on to what has ended will only make you resistant to what is forming. There may also be regret you have stored in the corners of your heart. You regret certain decision. You wonder what might have been different if you had chosen another path. But regret is a chain that keeps your focus locked on what cannot be changed. I am not leading you backward. I am leading you forward. Lay down regret. I have already woven redemption into your story. Letting go does not mean dishonoring the past. It means recognizing that it served its purpose. A child does not despise their old shoes when they outgrow them. They simply need a larger pair to continue walking comfortably. In the same way, you are outgrowing old mindsets. You are outgrowing environments that once felt safe. Growth always required release. I know there is comfort in familiarity. Even if something was imperfect, at least you understood it. The unknown can feel unsettling. But remember what I told you. The unexpected that is coming is not meant to harm you. It is meant to elevate you. And elevation requires space. Clear space in your thoughts. Clear space in your expectations. Clear space in your heart. Forgive where you need to forgive. Not because others always deserve it, but because you deserve freedom. Release resentment like you would release a heavy stone from your pocket. You were not created to carry it forever. I am capable of handling justice. You are called to walk in peace. You may feel a quiet sadness as you let certain things go. That is natural. Even necessary endings can carry emotion. But do not confuse sadness with loss. Sometimes sadness is simply the acknowledgement that a chapter has closed. And a closed chapter makes room for a new one to begin. Trust me in this process of release. I am not stripping you of good things. I am removing what no longer fits so that what truly belongs can settle into place. Open your hands, my beloved child. The new cannot fully arrive while you are clinging to the old. Let it go. I am ready to place something greater in your hands. My beloved child, as I prepare to move in your life in unexpected ways, know that I am not only arranging circumstances. Aligning people. Destiny is rarely fulfilled alone. The shifts that are coming will not unfold in isolation. I am already positioning hearts, conversations, and connections that will intersect with yours at the right moment. You may have noticed subtle changes in your relationships. Some conversations feel lighter. Some connections feel distant. Some bonds that once felt strong now feel quiet. Do not panic when you sense these shifts. Alignment often requires adjustment. When I prepare you for a new season, I also prepare the company you keep. There are people who walked with you through your last chapter because they were meant to support you in that season. They encouraged you when you were healing. They stood beside you while you were rebuilding. Under that. But not everyone is assigned to travel every mile of your journey. Some are seasonal blessings. When their purpose is complete, the connection may gently loosen. This is not rejection. It is redirection. At the same time, I am stirring hearts you have not yet met. I am whispering your name into conversations you are unaware of. I am creating divine intersections that will seem ordinary at first. A simple introduction. A casual invitation. A message that appears at just the right time. But behind those small moments will be my careful design. Think of a master composer arranging a symphony. Each instrument enters a specific measure. If one plays too early or too late, the harmony is disrupted. But when every instrument follows the conductor, the music flows beautifully. I am conducting the symphony of your life. I know when each person must enter and when they must step back. You may wonder why certain people have grown distant. You may question why conversations feel strained where they once felt easy. Instead of chasing what feels like it is slipping away, trust that I am refining your circle. I am protecting you from connections that could hinder what is coming. I am shielding you from influences that might dilute your focus. There are relationships forming that will challenge you in healthy ways. People who will sharpen your vision instead of feeding your doubt. People who will recognize the strength within you even before you fully see it yourself. They will not be drawn to your past limitations. They will see the growth that has taken place in silence, and they will speak to the future I have placed within you. Be open. Do not close your heart because of previous disappointments. I understand the temptation to remain guarded. You have experienced misunderstandings. You have felt the sting of betrayal. But not every new face carries the pain of the old. I am capable of restoring your trust through healthy, aligned connections. Alignment also means that I am repositioning you. Sometimes I move you slightly so that you can meet the right people and change an environment, a new routine, a decision to step into a different space. These shifts may feel small, but they are significant. They are part of the larger orchestration. Remember, the unexpected blessing I am bringing will often arrive through people. A word of encouragement, a partnership, an opportunity shared in passing. Do not overlook the human vessels I use. I work through willing hearts. As you move forward, ask me for discernment. I will show you who carries peace when they speak. I will reveal who adds strength to your spirit. I will gently warn you when something feels misaligned. You are not navigating relationships alone. I am guiding you. Trust the rearranging. Trust the introduction. Trust the quiet fading of what no longer fits. I am aligning your life with precision. And when the right people stand beside you in the next chapter, you will recognize my hand in every connection. My beloved child, I know there were moments when you looked at the calendar and felt frustration rise in your chest. You counted the days. You measured the months. You compared your timeline to others and wondered why yours seemed slower. You asked me why doors remained closed when you were ready to walk through them. You wondered if I had forgotten you. But what felt like delay was not neglect. It was protection. There were opportunities you prayed for that did not materialize. You prepared yourself. You imagined the outcome. You saw how it could work. And when it slipped away, you felt confused, disappointed, even embarrassed. But I saw what you could not see. I saw what was hidden behind the door you wanted so badly to open. Sometimes a closed door is not rejection. It is rescue. Imagine a traveler eager to cross a bridge, unaware that the structure ahead is unstable. From their perspective, the barrier that blocks the path feels unfair. It interrupts progress. It forces them to wait. But from a higher view, that barrier prevents collapse. In the same way, there were situations that appeared promising on the surface but carried unseen instability. I did not withhold them to punish you. I withheld them to preserve you. There were relationships you hoped would deepen. There were plans you hoped would succeed. There were moves you were ready to make. But the timing was not aligned. The foundation was not secure. The hearts involved were not prepared. If I had allowed certain things to move forward when you demanded, the outcome would have wounded you in ways far more painful than waiting ever did. You do not see every conversation that happens beyond your awareness. You do not see every motive within another person's heart. You do not see every future consequence attached to a present decision. But I do. And because I love you, I will delay what is not safe. I will pause what is not mature. I will close what is not stable. The waiting you endured strengthened you. It refined your motives. It taught you patience. It revealed areas where your trust needed to grow. If everything had happened quickly, you might have entered unprepared, and unprepared success and collapse under pressure. There is mercy in my timing. You may still carry subtle disappointment from what did not happen. You may replay those missed opportunities in your mind. But I am inviting you to release that disappointment now. Those were not missed blessings. They were redirected paths. Think of a parent guiding a child across a busy street. The child may tug forward, eager to run ahead. But the parent holds their hand firmly, waiting for the right moment to cross. The child does not yet understand the flow of traffic. They only feel restraint. Later, they realize that the pause kept them safe. In the same way, my restraint was love in action. You are not behind. You are not delayed beyond recovery. You are precisely where you need to be for what is coming. The timing that once frustrated you is about to make sense. Soon, you will see how certain doors closing guided you toward better ones. You will understand why certain plans unraveling created space for stronger foundations. You will recognize that the protection was worth the patience. My beloved child, I do not operate from panic. I do not rush because others appear ahead. I move with intention. I move with foresight. I move with care. What you call delay was my shield around you. And now, because you were protected, you are ready for what is next. My beloved child, as I have been protecting you and preparing you, something else has been quietly taking shape. There is a new assignment forming around your life. It has not fully revealed itself yet, but you have felt hints of it. A stirring, a restlessness, a sense that you were made for more than repetition. This is not about pressure. It is about purpose. There is a reason your old routines no longer satisfy you the way they once did. There is a reason certain conversations feel shallow. There is a reason you sense that something deeper is calling your name. I am awakening gifts within you that have been dormant. I am breathing on dreams you once set aside because they felt unrealistic or too distant. You may have thought those desires were random, but I planted them there. An assignment from me does not always begin with a loud announcement. Often it begins with a burden in your heart, a compassion for something others overlook, a frustration with injustice, a longing to create, to build, to help, to lead, to restore. These are not accidents. They are clues. Think of a seed placed in soil. For a long time, nothing is visible above the ground. But beneath the surface, roots are spreading in preparation for growth. In the same way, your new assignment has been rooting itself quietly within you. Every experience you have lived through has added to your preparation. Every lesson you have learned has shaped your capacity. You wonder why certain struggles were so specific, why you faced particular challenges others did not. It is because your assignment is unique. The compassion you now carry was forged through experience. The wisdom you now possess was born from endurance. You will be able to speak into places of darkness because you have walked through shadows yourself. Do not dismiss the nudges you feel. When an idea returns to your thoughts repeatedly, pay attention. When your heart feels alive at the thought of serving in a certain way, lean closer. I am not calling you to something beyond your ability without also providing the strength for it. I equip those I assign. This new assignment may stretch you. It may ask you to step outside of comfort. It may require courage you did not know you had. But remember, you have already been strengthened in silence. You have already been prepared through delay. What is forming now is not sudden inspiration. It is the next chapter of your growth. You do not need to see the entire path. I rarely reveal every step at once. If I did, you might feel overwhelmed. Instead, I will illuminate the next right move. I will guide you one decision at a time. Your role is not to control the outcome. Your role is to remain willing. There are people connected to your future assignment who are waiting for your obedience. They may not know your name yet, but they will benefit from your faithfulness. The encouragement you will offer, the example you will set, the service you will provide. Your life is not isolated. It is woven into a larger design. Release the belief that you are ordinary. Release the idea that your life is small. I do not create without intention. I do not shape a soul without purpose. You were formed with care, with vision, with destiny in mind. The unexpected that is coming is not only a blessing for you, it is a calling through you. As this assignment begins to surface more clearly, do not shrink back. Do not say you are unqualified. The same voice that calls you will sustain you. The same hand that protected you will guide you. Something new is forming, my beloved child, and you are ready to carry it. My beloved child, whenever I begin to move you towards something greater, fear often tries to arrive first. It whispers before the blessing fully appears. It questions before the opportunity takes shape. It attempts to interrupt what I am building. You must recognize this pattern so that you are not deceived by it. Fear is loud, but it is not wise. As you sense change approaching, your mind may begin to imagine worst-case scenarios. What if this fails? What if I am not ready? What if I lose what little stability I have? These thoughts can sound convincing because they echo past disappointments. Fear uses your history as evidence. It reminds you of the times things did not work out. It replays old pain as if it is prophecy. But fear is not a prophet. It cannot see what I see. It cannot measure what I have already arranged. It only reacts to uncertainty. And whenever you step into something new, uncertainty is present. That does not mean danger is present. It simply means you are growing beyond familiarity. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast field you have never crossed before. Behind you is a narrow path you know well. It is worn and predictable. Ahead of you is open land, beautiful but unknown. Fear will urge you to turn back because at least the narrow path feels safe. But you have already walked that path as far as it can take you. The open field is where expansion waits. Fear may even disguise itself as wisdom. It may tell you to be realistic. It may encourage you to lower your expectations just in case. It may advise you to avoid risk altogether. But I did not design you to live guarded from every possibility of growth. Caution has its place, but fear should not rule your decisions. You will know when fear is speaking because it drains your peace. It dies your chest. It clouds your thoughts. My voice, even when calling you into challenge, carries clarity. It carries steady assurance. It does not shout in panic. It guides in calm strength. When fear tries to interrupt this moment, pause. Return your focus to me. Remind yourself of how many times I have carried you through uncertainty before. There were seasons when you were convinced you would not make it, yet here you stand. There were obstacles you believed were immovable, yet they shifted in ways you could not have predicted. Fear magnifies what could go wrong. Faith magnifies who I am. The unexpected blessing I am bringing will require courage. Not reckless courage, but steady trust. You do not have to silence every fearful thought instantly. You simply need to refuse to let those thoughts decide your direction. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to move forward while trusting me more than your anxiety. Remember, the child learning to walk. Each step away from the furniture feels risky. The child may wobble. They may fall. But the father's hands are nearby, ready to steady them. The child's growth depends on those uncertain steps. In the same way, your growth depends on trusting me beyond what feels completely secure. Fear will try to convince you that staying where you are is safer than stepping into what I am opening. But staying still when I am calling you forward can create a different kind of loss. The loss of opportunity, the loss of growth, the loss of experiencing my fullness. My beloved child, when fear speaks, answer it with remembrance. Remember my faithfulness. Remember my protection. Remember my promises over your life. Fear may knock at the door of your mind, but you do not have to invite it to stay. What I am bringing is greater than what you are afraid of. Stand firm. Trust me. My beloved child, before the full shift becomes visible, I will send you small signs. I rarely begin with thunder. I begin with whispers. I begin with subtle confirmations that only a watchful heart will notice. If you expect only dramatic displays, you may overlook the gentle evidence that something new has already begun. Pay attention to the small changes. A conversation that feels different. A door that opens just a little wider than before. An idea that settles in your spirit and refuses to leave. A sense of peace where there used to be tension. These are not coincidences. They are signals. They are the early light before sunrise. Do not despise small beginnings. A spark may look insignificant, but it carries the potential for great fire. A cloud the size of a hand can announce coming rain. In the same way, what appears minor now may be the first visible sign of the unexpected blessing drawing closer. You have often prayed for clear direction, asking me to make it obvious. Sometimes clarity grows gradually. If I revealed everything at once, it might overwhelm you. Instead, I build your confidence step by step. Each small sign strengthens your trust. Each gentle confirmation anchors your faith. There may be an unusual calm settling over you, a quiet assurance that something is aligning, even if you cannot yet explain it. That peace is one of my signatures. I do not guide through confusion and panic. I guide through steady conviction. When you feel that deep calm rising within you, even while circumstances remain ordinary, know that I am at work. Watch also for repeated themes. When a message reaches you from different directions, when encouragement echoes through multiple voices, when opportunities begin to cluster around a certain path, I am often highlighting your next step. I confirm what I initiate, but you must remain attentive. Distraction can blur your awareness. If you rush through your days without reflection, you may miss the gentle nudges I send. Create space for stillness. In quiet moments, you will recognize what I am doing. My beloved child, as you watch for these signs, do not become anxious or impatient. You are not searching for proof to calm doubt. You are observing with expectation because you trust me. There is a difference. Expectation is rooted in faith, not fear. When you notice the small signs, respond with gratitude. Even before the full manifestation arrives, thank me. Gratitude prepares your heart to receive more. It shifts your focus from what has not yet appeared to what is already unfolding. The unexpected is closer than you think. The ground is already shifting beneath the surface. The seeds planted in silence are beginning to push upward. Stay awake. Stay hopeful. Stay ready. And now, my beloved child, As this message reaches your heart and begins to stir faith within you, I am calling you into something sacred. If this word has ignited hope in your spirit, if it has watered dry places in your soul, then do not let the river stop with you. I am saying to you now, be the vessel through which this light continues to flow. When you give through Super Thanks, when you become a member, when you sow through the PayPal link placed in the description and shown as a QR code in this video, you are not supporting a platform. You are helping me reach another weary heart. Did I not say that as you sow you shall also reap? This is living seed, and it carries eternal harvest. Let your giving be a spark that spreads this fire to nations. Do not delay when I move your heart, for obedience in this moment unlocks blessing beyond what you see. I will multiply every seed sown with faith and return it to you in ways that overflow. Step into this divine partnership now. Sow the seed. Expand the harvest. My beloved child, as you remain watchful and attentive to the small signs, something deeper is also happening within you. There are chains that have bound your heart for years, and they are beginning to loosen. Some of these chains were visible, habits you struggled to overcome, patterns you wished would change. Others were hidden, quiet insecurities, silent fears, unspoken shame. But I have seen them all, and I tell you now, their hold on you is breaking. You were never meant to live restricted by what hurt you. There were words spoken over you in the past that tried to define your worth. Criticism that lingered longer than it should have. Labels that stuck to your identity. You may have carried them so long that they began to feel like truth. But those words were not my voice. They were echoes of human limitation. I am now peeling those labels away. Freedom often begins internally before it appears externally. You may notice a shift in your thinking. Thoughts that once felt automatic are now being challenged. Where you once assumed failure, you now sense possibility. Where you once felt small, you now feel strength rising. This is not self-deception. This is restoration. Imagine a prisoner who has lived in a cell for so long that even after the door is unlocked, they hesitate to step outside. The open door feels unfamiliar. The light feels too bright. Yet the chains are no longer secured. In the same way, some of your restraints have already been unlocked. The habits of limitation may try to linger, but their authority is gone. I am dismantling lies you believed about yourself. You are not defined by your worst decision. You are not confined to the mistakes of your past. You are not permanently damaged by what others did to you. I am greater than every failure. I am stronger than every wound. My healing reaches deeper than your deepest scar. There are emotional chains that kept you replaying painful memories. You revisited certain moments as if reliving them could somehow change them. But those memories no longer have power over your present. They shaped you, yes. They taught you, yes. But they do not control you. There are spiritual chains that made you doubt your worthiness to receive good things. You questioned whether you deserved joy. You wondered if blessing was reserved for others. But I do not measure worth the way the world does. My love is not earned by perfection. It flows from my nature. The breaking of chains may feel subtle at first. You may not wake up one morning with every burden lifted at once. Instead, you may notice that certain triggers no longer carry the same weight. Situations that once overwhelmed you now feel manageable. Conversations that once intimidated you now feel balanced. These are signs of freedom unfolding. Freedom does not mean you will never face difficulty again. It means difficulty will not define you. It means challenges will not enslave your identity. You will walk through storms without losing yourself. My beloved child, I am not only changing what surrounds you, I am changing what binds you. I am removing internal barriers that once limited your reach. As these chains fall, you will feel lighter. You will respond differently. You will see yourself through clearer eyes. Do not cling to the old restraints out of habit. When you notice growth, embrace it. When you feel stronger, acknowledge it. When you act with new confidence, celebrate it. These are signs that you are no longer confined to yesterday's limitations. The unexpected blessing I am bringing requires freedom, and I am ensuring that you step into it unchained. Walk forward now, my beloved child. The door is open. My beloved child, I know there are things you have lost that still ache when you think about them. Opportunities that slipped away, relationships that ended, seasons that did not unfold the way you hoped. You have carried quiet grief, even when you tried to appear strong. But hear me clearly now. I am not only freeing you from old chains, I am restoring beyond what you lost. Restoration with me is never small. You may believe that certain losses are permanent, that some doors once closed can never be replaced. And in some cases, the exact thing you lost may not return in the same form. But I am not limited to replication. I specialize in redemption. I do not simply give back what was taken. I create something deeper, wiser, and more aligned with your future. Think of a field after harvest. It appears empty. The ground looks stripped and barren. But beneath the surface, the soil is being prepared for a new planting. What grows next may not look like what grew before. It may be stronger. It may yield more fruit. In the same way, the areas of your life that feel empty right now are not abandoned. They are being prepared. There are tears you cried in private that I collected. There are prayers whispered through disappointment that I heard. Nothing was ignored. Nothing was wasted. The pain you endured has increased your capacity for compassion. The lessons you learned have strengthened your discernment. What you thought with loss was also preparation. You may have lost time, or at least it feels that way. You look back and wonder if years slipped through your fingers. But I exist outside of time. I can accelerate what was delayed. I can restore opportunities in forms you did not anticipate. What seems gone forever to you is not beyond my reach. Remember the seed that falls into the ground and disappears from sight. It seems buried and forgotten. But in burial, transformation begins. The seed breaks open and life emerges. In the same way, some of what you lost had to fall away so that something greater could grow from it. You may not receive the exact same relationship, but you can receive deeper love. You may not return to the same position, but you can rise into a greater purpose. You may not reclaim the same moment, but you can experience a more fulfilling season ahead. Restoration is not about going backward. It is about moving forward with multiplied wisdom. My beloved child, I see how cautious you have become about hope. After experiencing disappointment, you learned to protect your heart. You told yourself not to expect too much. But I am gently inviting you to hope again. Not in people alone. Not in circumstances alone. But in me. I am capable of rebuilding what was broken. I am able to weave beauty into what once felt ruin. You are not permanently marked by what you lost. You are being positioned for something richer. Even now, pieces are coming together. Conversations you thought were insignificant are part of a larger design. Skills you developed during hardship are preparing you for new opportunity. Strength you gained through pain is shaping your next chapter. Restoration often surprises you because it does not arrive in the packaging you expect. But when it comes, you will recognize the depth of it. It will not feel like a fragile replacement. It will feel solid. It will feel aligned. It will feel intentional. Lift your eyes from what is done and look toward what is forming. I am not finished with your story. I am not limited by your past. I am restoring beyond what you lost. Trust me, my beloved child. The harvest ahead will be greater than the season behind. My beloved child, as I restore what was lost and loosen the chains that once bound you, something even deeper is taking place. I am renewing your identity. Not the identity shaped by opinions, not the one formed by failure or fear. I am restoring the identity I spoke over you before doubt ever touched your heart. For too long, you have seen yourself through broken mirrors. You measured your worth by achievements. You defined yourself by relationships. You allowed mistakes to become labels. When something succeeded, you felt valuable. When something failed, you questioned your purpose. But your identity was never meant to fluctuate with circumstances. It was anchored in me from the beginning. There were seasons when criticism wounded you more deeply than you admitted. Words spoken in frustration or jealousy settled into your spirit. You replayed them in quiet moments. You began to believe them. Slowly, your self-view shifted. You became smaller in your own eyes. But I never changed the way I see you. When I look at you, I do not see only your errors. I see resilience. I see compassion shaped through hardship. I see strength developed in silence. I see a heart that kept searching for light even in dark seasons. That is who you are. Identity renewal does not happen overnight. It unfolds as you allow my truth to replace old narratives. When a thought arises that says, I am not enough, challenge it with my voice saying, you are chosen. When shame tries to replay a past mistake, remember that I have already written forgiveness into your story. When insecurity whispers that you are overlooked, recall that I have been preparing you with precision. Imagine a name carved into stone. Over time, dust and debris collect on its surface. The name becomes difficult to read, not because it disappeared, but because it was covered. In the same way, your true identity was never erased. It was simply covered by experiences. I am now brushing away what obscured it. You are not the person who once doubted endlessly. You are not the version of yourself defined by fear. You are not the fragile soul who believed every setback meant defeat. You are growing. You are maturing. You are becoming more aligned with the purpose I placed within you. This renewal will affect how you walk into rooms. It will change how you speak. It will influence the boundaries you set. When you understand who you are, you no longer accept treatment that contradicts your value. You no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You no longer apologize for existing. Renewed identity also reshapes your expectations. You will begin to expect good things not from arrogance, but from alignment. You will recognize that you are not chasing blessing. You are stepping into what was prepared. There may be moments when old thoughts attempt to return. That is natural. But they will not carry the same authority. You will notice the difference. What once felt like truth will now feel like a distortion. That awareness itself is growth. My beloved child, I am not just changing your circumstances. I am strengthening your core. Because when the unexpected arrives, you must meet it with confidence rooted in identity. You cannot fully embrace new opportunity while still believing you are unworthy. Stand taller in your spirit. Speak differently about yourself. Think differently about your future. Let my truth define you. You are not forgotten. You are not second choice. You are not unqualified. You are mine. And as your identity is renewed, you will step into the next season not as someone hoping to be enough, but as someone who knows they already are. My beloved child, as your identity is being renewed and your heart is being strengthened, you are stepping into a space where not everything will be fully clear. There will be moments when you sense movement but can't yet see the full picture. This is the middle of the unknown. And in this space, I am asking you to trust me more deeply than before. You often want certainty before you move. You want guarantees before you commit. You want to see the end from the beginning so you can measure the risk. But faith does not grow in total visibility. It grows when you take a step while still holding my hand. Think of a child walking with their father through a foggy morning. The path ahead is covered in mist. The child cannot see very far, but they can feel the father's steady grip. They do not need to see the entire road to keep walking. They simply trust the one leading them. In the same way, you do not need every detail about what is coming. You need confidence in my guidance. The unknown can feel uncomfortable because it removes your sense of control. You have grown used to planning carefully, mapping out possibilities, preparing for every scenario. Planning is not wrong, but there comes a moment when planning reaches its limit and trust must take over. In this middle place, you may feel stretched. You may feel suspended between what was and what will be. The old chapter is closing, but the new one is not yet fully visible. It can feel like standing on a bridge, having left one side but not yet reached the other. Do not mistake this feeling for instability. It is transition. I am not asking you to leap blindly. I am asking you to walk steadily. There will be voices around you offering opinions. Some will encourage caution. Others will push you to rush ahead. But I want you to quiet the noise and listen for my voice. I do not pressure you into panic. I guide you with peace. When you sense calm clarity, even if the path is not entirely clear, that is often my direction. Trust is not proven when everything is easy. It is revealed when you choose to move forward without full visibility. Remember how many times in the past you feared the unknown, only to look back later and see how I carried you through it. The future you once worried about became the present you survived. You are stronger now than you were then. The unknown is not empty. It is filled with my presence. It is not a void waiting to swallow you. It is a canvas where I am painting the next chapter of your life. You may not yet see the full design, but I am working with intention. Release the need to control every outcome. Release the pressure to have every answer. Instead, anchor yourself in my character. I am faithful. I am attentive. I am intentional. I do not lead you into confusion without also providing clarity in time. If you stumble, I will steady you. If you hesitate, I will gently prompt you. If fear whispers, I will remind you of who you are becoming. My beloved child, trust me here, in the quiet middle, in a waiting space, in the moments when clarity is partial but peace is present. You are not lost. You are being led. And even in the unknown, you are safe in my hands. My beloved child, while you are learning to trust me in the middle of the unknown, something powerful is happening within you. I am strengthening your inner spirit, not in a way that makes you hard or distant, but in a way that makes you steady, rooted, unshaken by every passing wind. There was a time when small disappointments would drain you for days. A harsh word would linger in your mind. A setback would make you question your entire direction. But now, even though you still feel deeply, you are not as easily thrown off course. That is not accidental. That is growth. Strength does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it is simply the ability to remain calm when you would have once panicked. Sometimes it is choosing peace when anger feels justified. Sometimes it is continuing forward even when motivation feels low. These quiet decisions are evidence of an inner resilience forming within you. Imagine a tree planted by a river. When storms come, the branches may sway violently. Leaves may fall, but the roots, deeply anchored near water, hold firm. The strength of the tree is not in how still it looks on the outside, but in how deep its roots extend below the surface. In the same way, I am deepening your roots. You have prayed for strength before. You asked me to make you more confident, more stable, more courageous. But strength is not delivered like a package at your door. It is developed through experience. Every challenge you faced and survived added to your endurance. Every time you chose to keep believing when it would have been easier to quit, you were building spiritual muscle. There were moments when you thought you were breaking, but you were actually stretching. There were nights when you felt alone, but I was reinforcing your inner foundation. You may not have felt strong at the time. You may have felt fragile. But even in your fragility, I was forming resilience. The unexpected blessing that is coming will require this strength. Not because it will harm you, but because growth always demands maturity. Expansion requires stability. Influence requires integrity. Responsibility requires depth. I would not increase your outer world without first strengthening your inner one. You may begin to notice that your reactions are different now. Where you once sought validation, you now stand secure. Where you once rushed to prove yourself, you now move with quiet confidence. Where you once feared rejection, you now understand that your worth does not depend on acceptance. This is inner strength. It is not loud. It does not boast. It does not seek attention. It simply stands firm. Continue to nurture this strength. Spend time in stillness with me. Reflect on how far you have come. Speak words of truth over yourself rather than repeating old doubts. The more you align your thoughts with my perspective, the stronger your inner spirit will become. Do not underestimate the power of consistency. Small daily choices to trust, to forgive, to persevere, they accumulate. They form a solid core within you. And when the winds of change begin to blow more noticeably, you will not be uprooted. My beloved child, you are not as fragile as you once believed. You are not as easily shaken. I see the growth even when you overlook it. I see the strength even when you still feel unsure. I am strengthening you from the inside out. And what I build within you cannot be easily torn down. My beloved child, as I strengthen your inner spirit and prepare your heart, I must also tell you this. The unexpected blessing that is coming will stretch you. It will not break you, but it will expand you. And expansion always feels unfamiliar at first. You have prayed for increase. You have asked for growth, for opportunity, for clarity, for purpose. But when increase arrives, it often requires you to step into spaces you have never occupied before. It calls you to think differently, act differently, and see yourself differently. Stretching can feel uncomfortable. Imagine a muscle that has not been used in a long time. When it begins to work again, there is tension. There is resistance. There may even be soreness. But that discomfort is not injury. It is development. In the same way, when you begin to carry more responsibility, when you step into greater visibility, when doors open wider than before, you may feel moments of uncertainty. You may ask yourself, can I really handle this? Am I truly ready? Those questions are natural. But remember what I have already done within you. I have strengthened your roots. I have renewed your identity. I have broken old chains. I would not stretch you beyond what I have already prepared you to sustain. Growth demands new habits. If I increase your influence, you must guard your focus more carefully. If I expand your opportunities, you must manage your time with greater wisdom. If I bring new relationships into your life, you must communicate with maturity and clarity. These adjustments are not burdens. They are signs that you are moving forward. Do not fear the stretching. Sometimes, when something good begins to happen, there is a quiet temptation to shrink back to what feels familiar. You may think, this is too much. Or, I do not want to fail at this level. But shrinking will not protect you. It will only limit you. I did not create you to stay small because small feels safe. Think of a bird learning to use its wings. The nest was once protection. It was necessary. But the nest was never meant to be permanent. When the time comes to fly, remaining in the nest becomes restrictive. In the same way, certain environments and mindsets that once felt secure will now feel too narrow for who you are becoming. You are being invited into wider spaces. The blessing I bring may require you to speak up more boldly. It may ask you to lead where you once followed. It may open doors that place you in rooms you never imagined entering. Do not let humility turn into self-doubt. True humility recognizes that the strength comes from me, but it does not deny the capacity I placed within you. Stretching also refines your priorities. As new opportunities arise, you will need discernment to choose wisely. Not every open door is yours to walk through. I will guide you toward what aligns with your purpose. Remain attentive. Remain prayerful. Remain grounded. My beloved child, understand this. Stretching is evidence that you are growing beyond old limits. It is a sign that the container of your life is expanding. What once felt impossible will become manageable. What once intimidated you will become familiar. You will look back one day and realize that the things that once felt overwhelming are now part of your normal routine. That is growth. Trust the process of expansion. Trust the discomfort of development. Trust that I am not placing you in situations to expose your weakness, but to reveal your strength. The unexpected blessing is not just about what you receive. It is about who you become as you receive it. And you, my beloved child, are ready to grow into it. My beloved child, as I stretch you and lead you into wider spaces, there is another truth you must gently accept. Some goodbyes are necessary. Not every ending is a tragedy. Not every farewell is a failure. Sometimes, a goodbye is simply the doorway to your next level. You have held on to certain things because they were familiar. Even if they were imperfect, they were known. Familiarity can feel like safety. But when growth begins, what once felt comfortable can begin to feel tight. You may notice that certain environments no longer nourish you the way they once did. Certain conversations no longer resonate with your spirit. Certain patterns no longer fit the person you are becoming. This does not mean you are ungrateful for what was. It means you are evolving. Think of a student moving from one grade to the next. The classroom that once felt challenging eventually becomes too small for continued growth. The lessons have been learned. The season has served its purpose. Remaining would not bring progress. It would bring stagnation. In the same way, there are chapters in your life that have completed their assignment. Some goodbyes will be quiet, a gradual drifting apart, a realization that paths are diverging. Other goodbyes may feel more pronounced, more emotional. You may feel sadness, even when you know it is right. That sadness does not mean you made the wrong choice. It simply means you are human. It means you care. Release without bitterness. When you cling to what I am asking you to release, you create unnecessary resistance in your own heart. I do not remove things to leave you empty. I make space for what is aligned with your next assignment. If I close a door, it is because something more fitting is ahead. There may be people who do not understand your growth. They may prefer the version of you that was quieter, more accommodating, less aware of your worth. But you are not responsible for staying small to keep others comfortable. Growth sometimes disrupts expectations. That is not arrogance. It is maturity. Some goodbyes are internal. You may need to say goodbye to old versions of yourself. The version that tolerated disrespect. The version that doubted constantly. The version that settled for less than what I intended. Thank that former version for surviving what it faced, but do not let it define your future. Letting go requires trust. You must trust that I am not taking away something essential. You must trust that what I remove has already fulfilled its role. Imagine carrying a ladder long after you have reached the roof. At some point, you must release it to move freely. The ladder was necessary for climbing, but it is not necessary for standing firmly where you are now. Do not fear empty spaces created by necessary endings. I will fill them. I will introduce new connections, new opportunities, new environments that match your growth. But those cannot settle into place if your hands are tightly wrapped around what has expired. Honor the past, but do not live in it. My beloved child, goodbyes can be sacred. They mark transition. They acknowledge that something meaningful occurred. They also declare that you are moving forward. Trust the closing chapters. Trust the fading conversations. Trust the gentle nudges that tell you it is time. You are not losing your foundation. You are being repositioned. And as you step into what is next, you will realize that every necessary goodbye was an act of divine love guiding you forward. My beloved child, as you release what no longer belongs in your next chapter, you must understand something beautiful. I am rewriting your story, not by erasing your past, but by redeeming it. Not by pretending the hard chapters never happened, but by weaving them into something meaningful. You have looked at certain parts of your life and thought, this ruined everything. You have replayed moments of regret, decisions you wish you could undo, words you wish you had not spoken, paths you wish you had not taken. And in quiet moments, you wondered if those chapters permanently disqualified you from something better. But I am not limited by your mistakes. A skilled author can take a plot twist that seemed tragic and transform it into the turning point of the entire story. What once looked like the end becomes the beginning of deeper purpose. In the same way, the chapters you thought were failures are becoming foundations. I do not waste pain. The betrayal you endured taught you discernment. The delay you experienced built patience. The heartbreak you survived expanded your compassion. The detours you walked strengthened your endurance. None of it was meaningless. Even when you acted out of fear or confusion, I was able to redirect your steps. You may not see the full design yet, but I do. I see how the threads connect. I see how one closed door guided you toward another that fits better. I see how one painful lesson prepared you to handle greater responsibility with wisdom. Sometimes you are tempted to hide parts of your story. You feel embarrassed by them. You wish your journey looked cleaner, more impressive, more straightforward. But your story is powerful precisely because it contains struggle and growth. A story without challenge carries little depth. A story refined through hardship carries strength. I am not ashamed of your journey. You are not a collection of mistakes. You are a testimony of transformation in progress. And as I rewrite your story, I am adding chapters of redemption, clarity, and purpose. There may still be consequences from past choices. Growth does not erase responsibility, but even consequences can become teachers rather than punishments. When you face them with humility and courage, they strengthen your character rather than define your identity. Imagine an old manuscript covered in edits and corrections. To someone unfamiliar with the process, it might look messy. But to the author, those marks represent refinement. They show growth. They show intention. Your life may feel marked by revisions, but those revisions are shaping something meaningful. The unexpected blessing that is coming is not disconnected from your past. It is connected to it. It is rising out of lessons learned and strength gained. It is the next paragraph in a story that is still unfolding. Do not close the book on yourself prematurely. Do not decide that you have reached your limit. I am still writing. I am still shaping. I am still guiding the narrative. My beloved child, lift your eyes from what you thought disqualified you. See instead how I have preserved you. See how I have carried you through chapters that could have ended differently. You are here. You are growing. You are moving forward. Trust the author of your life. I am rewriting your story with grace, with wisdom, and with purpose. And the chapters ahead will reveal a beauty you could not have imagined from where you once stood. My beloved child, as I continue rewriting your story and aligning your steps, there is something quietly surrounding you that you have not fully recognized. There is favor resting on your life. Not loud, not boastful, not always visible, but real. And what hath been hidden is about to surface. You have sometimes looked at others and wondered why things seemed easier for them, why doors opened quickly in their direction, why recognition found them without struggle. In those moments, you question whether you carried the same grace. But favor is not always immediate. Sometimes it works beneath the surface, building credibility, building character, building timing. Hidden favor is still favor. Think of treasure buried beneath the soil. From the outside, the land looks ordinary. Nothing about it suggests wealth. But beneath that ground lies value waiting to be uncovered. In the same way, there have been seasons where your life appeared average, uneventful, unnoticed. But beneath the surface, I was storing opportunities, connections, and moments that would reveal themselves at the appointed time. There were times when rejection felt personal, when your effort was overlooked, when you gave your best and received little acknowledgement. You questioned your visibility. You wondered if your work mattered. But I saw every act of faithfulness. I saw every quiet sacrifice. I saw every choice to do what was right even when no one applauded. Favor grows in faithfulness. It is not always about being the loudest voice in the room. It is about being steady. It is about integrity when shortcuts are available. It is about humility when pride would be easier. These qualities may not bring instant recognition, but they attract lasting elevation. Soon, you will notice shifts. Conversations that once bypassed you will now include you. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach will begin to lean toward you. People may express appreciation you did not expect. These moments are not accidents. They are manifestations of favor that has been developing quietly. Do not let surprise turn into doubt. When good begins to flow in your direction, receive it without questioning your worthiness. You are not manipulating outcomes. You are not forcing attention. You are stepping into what has been forming around you. Hidden favor also protects you from premature exposure. There were platforms you were not yet ready to stand on. There were responsibilities that would have overwhelmed you if given too early. So I allowed you to grow in private, I allowed you to refine your character without constant scrutiny. Now, as your inner strength has increased, visibility can increase without destabilizing you. Favor does not mean you will never face challenges. It means that even in challenge, doors will open at the right time. It means that when obstacles arise, solutions will follow. It means that when you step into rooms prepared for you, there will be a sense of alignment that cannot be explained by effort alone. My beloved child, do not shrink when favor begins to show itself. Do not downplay your growth. Do not attribute everything to luck. Recognize my hand. Walk with humility, but walk with confidence. The unexpected blessing I promised is not random. It is connected to favor that has been hidden for a season. What was once beneath the surface is rising. You will see the difference. Others will see it too. And when it surfaces, you will know that I have been working for you in ways you never fully saw. My beloved child, as hidden favor begins to rise and doors start to open, there is something important I must remind you of. Remain steady. Do not rush ahead of me. Momentum can be exciting. Progress can feel energizing. But speed without alignment leads to balance. There will be moments when opportunities appear quickly, almost all at once. Invitations, ideas, possibility. After seasons of waiting, it may feel tempting to say yes to everything. You may feel urgency to make up for lost time. But I am not asking you to compensate for the past. I am asking you to move with wisdom. Growth is not a race. Imagine a runner who has trained patiently for a long distance. If they sprint at the very beginning, driven by excitement, they may exhaust themselves before reaching the finish. Endurance requires pacing. In the same way, this new season requires measured steps. Do not confuse open doors with required doors. Not every opportunity is your assignment. Some are distractions disguised as progress. Some are good but not aligned. You will need discernment to choose what truly belongs to you. Stay anchored in peace. When I guide you, there is clarity accompanied by calm. Even when the step feels bold, there will be steadiness beneath it. If you feel frantic pressure, if you feel driven by fear of missing out, pause. Return to stillness. I will not rush you into something that requires panic to maintain. Remember how I have led you thus far. Slowly, intentionally, with preparation. The same wisdom that delayed certain doors is the wisdom that will now guide you through open ones. Trust my pacing. There may be voices around you encouraging urgency. They may say, "This is your chance, don't hesitate." They may urge you to seize every possibility. But your path is not determined by comparison. It is determined by calling. What is meant for you will remain available when you move in obedience. Patience is not passivity. It is controlled strength. You can be excited without being impulsive. You can be hopeful without being reckless. You can embrace growth while still guarding your peace. This balance will protect you as your world expands. If something truly belongs to you, it will withstand thoughtful consideration. It will not crumble because you took time to pray. It will not disappear because you sought counsel. I am not threatened by your careful steps. I welcome them. My beloved child, remain grounded in what I have already taught you. Keep nurturing your inner life. Do not let outward success replace inward connection. The more visible your blessings become, the more important it is to remain rooted. There is strength in restraint. Sometimes the most powerful move is not immediate action, but patient alignment. Wait for my confirmation. Feel for my peace. Let wisdom settle before committing. You are not behind. You are not in danger of missing what I have prepared. I am capable of holding doors open until you are ready to walk through them. I am capable of preserving opportunity until timing aligns fully. Remain steady. Move when I move. Pause when I pause. Speak when I prompt. Wait when I instruct. This season is not about frantic striving. It is about intentional expansion. And when you move at my pace, the blessing will not overwhelm you. It will sustain you. My beloved child, as you learn to remain steady and not rush ahead, you must also understand how I speak. I do not guide you through panic. I do not shout over chaos. I speak through peace. The world around you often moves in urgency. It pressures you to decide quickly, to react immediately, to fear being left behind. Panic can feel powerful. It creates adrenaline. It demands action. But panic is not my language. When I lead you, there is a settled assurance beneath the surface. Even if the decision is significant, even if the step requires courage, there will be a calm thread woven through it. That calm is my signature. Think of a stormy sea. Waves crash violently. Wind roars loudly. But deep beneath the surface, the ocean remains steady and quiet. In the same way, circumstances around you may shift, but my guidance operates at a deeper level. You may feel external pressure, yet internally there can still be clarity. You have experienced moments of panic before, times when fear dictated your response, when anxiety convinced you to act quickly just to relieve discomfort. And often, those rushed decisions left you unsettled afterward. Not because you are incapable, but because panic distorts perspective. I am not the author of confusion. If a decision feels clouded by fear, step back, breathe, invite me into the moment. My direction does not need to compete with noise. When you create space for stillness, my voice becomes easier to recognize. Peace does not mean absence of challenge. It means presence of assurance. You may still feel nervous stepping into something new, but beneath that nervousness, there will be confidence. There will be a knowing that you are aligned. Learn to pay attention to what settles your spirit rather than what excites your ego. Excitement can be good, but it can also be misleading if it is rooted in impulse. Peace is deeper. It lingers. It steadies your breathing and quiets your thoughts. There will be moments when you are presented with two paths. One may look impressive. The other may appear simple. The impressive one may come with applause and recognition. The simple one may come with quiet growth. Ask yourself, where is the peace? Where does your spirit feel grounded rather than agitated? I often guide through gentle conviction. A soul what persistent nod. A sense of alignment that does not demand urgency but invites obedience. Do not overlook these quiet signals. My beloved child, trust the language of peace. It will protect you from impulsive mistakes. It will shield you from unnecessary detours. It will guard your heart as you step into expansion. If something steals your peace consistently, examine it. If something strengthens your peace, consider it carefully. I do not intend for you to live in constant tension about every decision. I desire you to walk in confident calm. Even when the unexpected unfolds, even when doors open swiftly, you will know it is from me because peace will accompany it. It will not feel forced. It will not feel chaotic. It will feel aligned. Let panic fade. Let urgency soften. Tune your heart to stillness. I am speaking, and my voice is carried on peace. My beloved child, as you learn to recognize my voice in peace and remain steady in movement, there is a key I am placing gently into your hands. The key is gratitude. Gratitude unlocks what is coming. It may seem simple. It may even seem small. But gratitude shifts your perspective in powerful ways. It turns your focus from what is missing to what is already present. It reminds your heart that I have been faithful before, and I will be faithful again. There were seasons when you struggled to give thanks because everything felt uncertain. You looked at what had not yet arrived and felt discouraged. You compared your life to others and felt behind. In those moments, gratitude felt forced. But gratitude is not denial of difficulty. It is acknowledgement of my presence within it. When you thank me in advance, you are not pretending the blessing has already fully manifested. You are declaring trust in my promise. You are saying, I believe you are working, even if I cannot see every detail yet. That posture opens your heart wider. Imagine standing before a door that is slowly being unlocked from the other side. If you are focused only on the delay, frustration builds. But if you are aware that someone is already turning the key, anticipation replaces anxiety. Gratitude reminds you that I am already turning the key. There is power in saying thank you for what has not yet appeared. It aligns your thoughts with faith rather than fear. It trains your spirit to expect good rather than brace for disappointment. You have more to be grateful for than you sometimes realize. The strength you now carry, the lessons you have learned, the protection that kept you from harm, the growth that occurred in silence. Even the closed doors that once felt painful now reveal wisdom in hindsight. Gratitude also protects your heart from bitterness. When you choose to thank me, even in small things, resentment loses its grip. Comparison fades. You become anchored in contentment while still reaching for growth. As the unexpected blessing approaches, maintain a posture of thanksgiving. Thank me for the small signs. Thank me for the peace you feel. Thank me for the strength forming within you. Each expression of gratitude prepares your heart to receive more without arrogance. There is a difference between entitlement and expectancy. Entitlement demands and complains. Expectancy trusts and thanks. I am cultivating expectancy in you. Speak gratitude aloud when doubt tries to rise. Whisper thanks in quiet moments. Let appreciation become your reflex rather than complaint. Over time, you will notice your perspective shifting. Challenges will feel lighter. Waiting will feel purposeful rather than empty. My beloved child, gratitude does not accelerate my timing, but it aligns your heart with it. It keeps you open. It keeps you hopeful. It keeps you aware of my movement. What is coming will not overwhelm a grateful heart. It will multiply within it. So begin now, even before everything is clear, even before every detail is visible. Say thank you. Thank me for the protection that shielded you. Thank me for the strength that sustains you. Thank me for the favor rising quietly around you. Thank me for the doors I am preparing to open. Gratitude is the atmosphere where blessing grows. And as you continue to give thanks, you will find that your heart is already stepping into the very thing you have been waiting for. My beloved child, as gratitude fills your heart and steadies your steps, I want you to hear this clearly. The season of smallness is ending. The space you have occupied for so long, the narrow place where you learned humility and endurance, is widening. Smallness served a purpose. There was a time when staying hidden protected you. It allowed you to grow without pressure. It gave you room to develop character without constant scrutiny. In that season, you learned lessons that could only be learned quietly. You learned patience when no one noticed your effort. You learned perseverance when results were minimal. You learned faith when evidence was scarce. But what once was necessary is no longer permanent. Smallness can feel safe. Expectations are lower. Risks appear fewer. If little is required, little can be lost. Yet smallness also limits impact. It confines your voice. It restricts your reach. And you were not created to remain confined. You may feel it already, a subtle restlessness, a sense that your current boundaries no longer match your inner growth. You may notice that your dreams feel bigger than your environment. That is not pride. That is expansion. Imagine a plant that began in a small pot. At first, the container was perfect. It supported the roots. It held the soil securely. But as the plant grew, the roots began to press against the edges. Growth slowed, not because the plant lacked potential, but because the container was too tight. In order for it to thrive, it had to be transplanted into wider ground. In the same way, I am transplanting you. This does not mean instant fame or dramatic elevation. It means increased responsibility. It means greater influence. It means that your voice will carry weight in places it once did not. It means that opportunities will stretch beyond your previous boundaries. Do not resist the widening. You may feel unqualified at first. You may question whether you are truly ready. But remember all that I have built within you. The strength, the resilience, the discernment, the renewed identity. These were not developed for a life of limitation. There will be moments when you must speak where you once stayed silent. Moments when you must step forward where you once remained in the background. Moments when you must accept opportunities that place you in visible positions. Do not shrink back. Smallness taught you humility. Now humility will protect you as you expand. As your space widens, guard your heart carefully. Increased visibility can bring both encouragement and criticism. Do not let praise inflate you, and do not let criticism shrink you. Remain anchored in who you are. Remember that your identity is rooted in me, not in public opinion. The season of smallness is ending not because you demanded it, but because you have matured through it. You have proven faithful in quiet places. You have grown steady in hidden seasons. And now, it is time for greater capacity. My beloved child, expansion is not about ego. It is about purpose. There are people who will be impacted by your obedience. There are spaces waiting for your presence. There are conversations that require your voice. Lift your head. Straighten your posture. Prepare your heart. The walls that once felt close around you are beginning to move outward. The season of smallness is ending, and you are ready for the wider field I am leading you into. My beloved child, as the season of smallness comes to an end and your space begins to widen, there is something else I am carefully restoring within you. I am restoring your confidence. Not the kind of confidence rooted in comparison. Not the fragile kind that depends on applause. I am restoring the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and who walks with you. There were moments in your life when your confidence was shaken. Perhaps you tried and failed. Perhaps you trusted and were disappointed. Perhaps you stepped forward and were misunderstood. Each experience chipped away at your certainty. Over time, you became more cautious. You hesitated before speaking. You questioned your instincts. You doubted your ability to succeed. But those experiences did not destroy you. They refined you. Confidence is not built by avoiding failure. It is built by surviving it. You have endured setbacks and still remain standing. You have faced criticism and continued moving forward. You have navigated uncertainty and grown wiser because of it. That is strength. I am reminding you now that you are capable. The voice that once said, "I cannot," is being replaced with, "I will try." The hesitation, that once paralyzed you is loosening its grip. You may still feel moments of uncertainty, but they no longer dominate you. You are learning to trust your growth. Imagine a craftsman restoring an old instrument. At one time, it produced beautiful music, but after damage and neglect, it lost its clarity. Instead of discarding it, the craftsman carefully repairs each string, polishes the surface, tightens what was loose. Slowly, the sound returns, richer than before. In the same way, I am restoring your inner voice. Confidence does not mean you will never feel nervous. It means you will not allow nervousness to silence you. It means you understand that growth often requires stepping forward even when your hands tremble slightly. As you enter wider spaces, you will need this renewed confidence. There will be rooms where you once felt out of place. There will be conversations where you once doubted your contribution. And now you will speak with clarity. Not because you are perfect, but because you are prepared. You not confuse humility with shrinking. You can remain humble while standing tall. You can acknowledge my guidance while embracing your capability. I placed gifts within you intentionally. I shaped your perspective through experience. I cultivated your strength through trials. You are not the same person who once felt incapable. You have grown. There may still be echoes of old insecurities. They may whisper from time to time, but those whispers no longer define your truth. With your eyes, answer them with remembrance. Remember how far you have come. Remember the doors you have already walked through. Remember the challenges you have overcome. My beloved child, I am not restoring you to who you were before the setbacks. I am strengthening you beyond that point. Your confidence now is deeper, steadier, wiser. As you move forward, let your steps reflect this restoration. Walk into opportunities without apology. Share your ideas without shrinking. Accept leadership without fear. I am with you. The same presence that guided you through uncertainty now empowers you in clarity. Your confidence is returning, not loud, not boastful, but firm. And with this restored confidence, you will step into the next season with courage that feels natural, not forced. My beloved child, there were prayers you whispered long ago that you almost forgot about. Requests you carried with tears. Hopes you repeated so often that they became part of your breathing. Over time, as days turned into months and months into years, you quietly set some of those prayers aside. Not because you stopped caring, but because waiting became heavy. But hear me now. What you prayed for is closer than you think. I have not forgotten a single word you spoke to me. Not one plea uttered in exhaustion. Not one request made in faith. Not one silent longing you did not even have the strength to voice aloud. I heard them all, and I have been working in ways you could not trace. There were prayers that required preparation within you before they could be fulfilled. There were blessings that demanded maturity so they would not overwhelm you. There were answers that needed alignment of timing, people, and circumstances. What felt like silence was actually orchestration. You may look at your present situation and think it does not resemble the answer you once imagined. But answers do not always arrive in the form you expect. Sometimes I reshape the desire before I fulfill it. Sometimes I refine the vision so that it aligns with your deeper purpose. Think of a seed planted in soil. After it is buried, there is a long stretch where nothing seems to happen. From the surface, the ground looks unchanged. But beneath it, the seed is splitting open. Roots are reaching downward before any green shoots appear above. If you judge the process too early, you would assume nothing is happening. Yet growth is already underway. In the same way, your prayers have been germinating. There may soon be signs that something is shifting. Small confirmations, unexpected conversations, opportunities that seem strangely aligned with what you once asked for. Do not dismiss these as coincidence. Recognize them as answers beginning to surface. You have learned patience in ways you never anticipated. You have learned endurance through seasons of uncertainty. And now, those lessons are about to intersect with fulfillment. The temptation will be to doubt when the first signs appear. You may think, this cannot be it, or it is probably too good to last. But I am telling you to remain open. Do not sabotage hope because of past disappointment. What is closer than you think may not look exactly like your original request, but it will carry the essence of it. The peace you longed for, the stability you desired, the opportunity you envisioned, the restoration you hoped for. I am faithful. Even now, pieces are moving into place. Doors you cannot yet see are being prepared. Conversations are unfolding beyond your awareness. Hearts are being softened. Paths are being cleared. Do not measure proximity by visible evidence alone. Measure it by the stirring within your spirit. If you feel anticipation rising, if you sense alignment forming, that is because you are nearing manifestation. My beloved child, stay alert. Stay grateful. Stay ready. What you prayed for did not disappear into silence. It hath been forming in my hands, and it is closer than you think. My beloved child, as what you prayed for draws near and the signs begin to align, I must prepare your heart for something else. This shift will surprise even you. You have imagined different outcomes. You have rehearsed possible scenarios in your mind. You have tried to predict how and when things might change. But what I am about to do will exceed the limits of your imagination. Not because you lacked faith, but because you could only see from where you stood. I see beyond your horizon. There are blessings I have prepared that you did not dare to request. There are connections forming that you never thought possible. There are doors positioned in places you never considered walking. When they open, your first response may be disbelief. You may ask yourself, how did this happen? It happened because I was working long before you saw evidence. Sometimes you pray with a specific picture in mind. You ask for one opportunity, one breakthrough, one solution. But I see the larger design. I know which paths will sustain you and which will drain you. I know which relationships will strengthen you and which will distract you. So when the shift comes, it may not mirror your original expectation. It will surpass it. Imagine standing at the edge of a small pond, believing it is the only water available. Then suddenly discovering that beyond the trees lies a vast lake. You did not know it existed, so you did not ask for it. But it was always there, waiting to be revealed. In the same way, what is coming may feel larger than what you believed you deserved. Do not shrink from surprise. When good begins to unfold quickly, you may feel unsteady at first. You may question whether it is real. You may wonder how to handle it. That is natural. Growth often arrives with awe. But let awe turn into gratitude, not fear. This shift will not only change your circumstances, it will change your perspective. It will show you how small your expectations were compared to my provision. It will remind you that I am not limited by what you can foresee. You may look back at your earlier worries and realize how unnecessary they were. The things you feared would never happen may become distant memories. The doubts that once felt loud will seem faint. This is not coincidence. It is alignment reaching maturity. My beloved child, prepare your heart to receive more than you asked for. Prepare your mind to stretch beyond what you planned. Prepare your spirit to stand firm in unexpected favor. Surprise does not mean instability. It means revelation. It means I am unveiling something that was hidden in plain sight. When the shift happens, move with it. Do not cling to old assumptions. Do not downplay what I am doing. Allow yourself to experience the fullness of the moment. You prayed. You waited. You endured. Now you will witness. This shift will surprise even you. And when it does, you will understand that I was always working beyond the limits of your imagination. My beloved child, when the shift finally begins, when the unexpected unfolds and what you prayed for starts to take shape, I need you to stand firm. Do not let excitement make you unstable. Do not let sudden change shake your footing. Remain grounded. There is a moment when transition moves from preparation to reality. What once felt distant becomes tangible. What once seemed like a promise becomes a living experience. In that moment, emotions can rise quickly. Joy, belief, even ahead of disbelief. But you must anchor yourself. Standing firm does not mean resisting the blessing. It means receiving it with stability. Think of a building constructed carefully over time. The foundation was laid deep and strong before the upper floors were added. When the structure rises higher, it does not sway wildly because its base is secure. In the same way, I have been strengthening your foundation so that when elevation comes, you do not lose balance. There may be voices that question your sudden growth. Some may say you changed it too quickly. Others may doubt whether you can sustain this new level. Do not absorb their uncertainty. You are not responsible for explaining every step of my timing. Remain calm. Let your consistency speak louder than defense. Transition can also bring new responsibilities, new expectations, new challenges. Do not allow pressure to intimidate you. Remember the inner strength I built within you. Remember the identity I renewed. Remember the favor that surfaced. If there is initial turbulence, do not interpret it as failure. When a plane takes off, there is a moment of vibration as it leaves the ground. But that vibration does not mean it will crash. It is simply the process of lifting. In the same way, early adjustments may feel intense, but they are part of ascent. My beloved child, stay rooted in your daily connection with me. Do not let busyness replace stillness. Do not let opportunity crowd out reflection. The same voice that guided you here will sustain you here. There may be moments when you are tempted to overextend yourself, to prove you deserve this new season, to validate your place. But you do not need to prove what I have already established. Walk confidently, but do not exhaust yourself trying to justify your presence. Standing firm also means guarding your heart against pride. Success can be as destabilizing as failure if not handled with humility. Remember where your strength comes from. Remember the quiet seasons that shaped you. Let gratitude keep you grounded. At the same time, do not shrink out of false modesty. Accept what I have given. On your growth. Stand tall without arrogance. When it begins, there will be moments of adjustment. That is natural. But do not retreat at the first sign of discomfort. You asked for expansion. You prayed for breakthrough. Now that it is here, remain steady enough to sustain it. My beloved child, the shift is not fragile. It is intentional. It was prepared carefully, and you were prepared carefully for it. Stand firm. Let your feet settle into this new ground. Let your spirit remain calm. Let your heart stay aligned. You are not here by accident, and you are strong enough to remain when the blessing begins. My beloved child, as the shift unfolds and you stand firm in the new ground I have brought you to, there may still be a quiet question in your heart. Is this truly from you? I want you to rest in this assurance. You will know it is from me. I do not operate in confusion. When something is truly aligned with my will for you, it carries a distinct mark. It may not always be loud. It may not always be dramatic. But it will be clear. Even if others question it, even if circumstances feel new and unfamiliar, deep within your spirit there will be recognition. My voice has a familiar tone. Think of how a child can recognize their father's footsteps in a crowded room. Many sounds may fill the air, but one sound stands out because it is known. In the same way, as you have grown in trust and discernment, you have learned the rhythm of my guidance. You have learned the feel of my peace. When the blessing is from me, there will be alignment rather than strain. There will be peace beneath the excitement. There will be clarity that remains even when emotions fluctuate. It will not require manipulation. It will not demand that you abandon your integrity. It will not force you to compromise who you are becoming. You will not have to twist yourself to make it fit. There may be challenges attached to it. Growth often carries responsibility, but those challenges will refine you, not drain you. They will stretch you without suffocating you. There will be grace available for every step. My beloved child, you have matured through waiting. You have grown through uncertainty. That growth has sharpened your discernment. What once might have confused you will now feel clear. What once might have tempted you off course will now feel misaligned. If something steals your peace consistently, it is not my best for you. If something draws you closer to purpose and strengthens your spirit, pay attention. I confirm what I initiate. There will be moments of affirmation, unexpected encouragement, repeated themes, doors opening smoothly where resistance once lived. These are confirmations. I do not leave you guessing endlessly. I guide you with kindness. You may still face doubt from others. Not everyone will understand the path I lead you on. Some will question your decisions. Some will project their own fears onto you. But their uncertainty does not cancel my direction. Return to the inner peace I have placed within you. That peace is your compass. When it is from me, you will not feel pressured to rush. You will not feel forced to pretend. You will feel grounded. You will feel steady. Even if the circumstances are new, your spirit will feel at home. My beloved child, trust what I have cultivated within you. You are not as easily misled as you once feared. You have grown wiser. You have grown stronger. You have learned to distinguish noise from guidance. You will know it is from me. And when you recognize my hand in what unfolds, step forward with confidence. You are not walking blindly. You are walking guided. The one who prepared you is the one who leads you. And my signature will be unmistakable. My beloved child, now that you recognize my hand, now that you feel my peace and see the confirmation unfolding around you, there comes a sacred moment. A moment when waiting turns into movement. A moment when preparation turns into action. And in that moment, I am asking you to step forward without hesitation. Do not let overthinking steal your obedience. There was a time when hesitation protected you. It kept you cautious. It prevented reckless decisions. But this is not that time. This is the moment when clarity has been given, when peace has been established, when alignment has been confirmed. To hesitate now would only delay what has already been prepared. You may still feel a slight trembling inside. That is natural. Courage does not mean the absence of feeling. It means choosing to move despite it. When a door stands open and you know it is from me, lingering in the doorway serves no purpose. Step through. Think of a ship that has been anchored safely in harbor for a long season. The harbor was necessary. It provided shelter during storms. It allowed repairs and strengthening. But ships are not built to remain docked forever. They are built for open water. At some point, the anchor must be lifted. You have been strengthened. You have been restored. You have been prepared. Now is not the time to second-guess what I have clearly shown you. Hesitation often disguises itself as caution. It whispers, "Wait just a little longer." It suggests you gather more reassurance, more confirmation, more validation. But I have already given you what you need. There will always be unknowns. There will always be variables you cannot control. But you are not called to control everything. You are called to obey. Do not look back with longing at the familiarity of what you are leaving behind. The comfort of the past cannot compare to the purpose of the future. You prayed for movement. You asked for breakthrough. This is the answer. There may be voices that question your boldness. Some may advise you to stay where it is predictable. But predictability is not the same as safety. True safety is found in alignment with me. When you step forward, do so with confidence rooted in trust. Not arrogance, not self-reliance, but steady faith. I go before you. I walk beside you. I remain behind you. Even if the first steps feel uncertain, keep moving. Momentum builds through action. The more you walk in obedience, the more clarity unfolds. My beloved child, this is not the time for retreat. It is not the time for shrinking. It is not the time for apologizing for growth. It is the time to embrace what has been prepared. Lift your head. Straighten your shoulders. Let your heart remain calm. Step forward. I have already arranged what awaits you. I have already strengthened what stands within you. I have already confirmed my presence around you. Do not hesitate at the threshold of your next season. Walk into it. You are ready. My beloved child, you have walked with me through preparation, through waiting, through stretching, through release. You have faced fear and chosen trust. You have felt small and watched your space widen. You have questioned and you have grown. And now you stand in the fulfillment of what I have been speaking all along. Something unexpected hath come, not as chaos, not as harm, but as alignment, as restoration, as answered prayer wrapped in timing that only I could orchestrate. What once felt distant now stands before you. What once seemed impossible now feels tangible. And as you look back, you can see that every delay protected you, every silence prepared you, every closed door redirected you. I told you to get ready, and you did. You released the old. You allowed your identity to be renewed. You strengthened your inner spirit. You learned to recognize my peace. You chose gratitude before evidence. You stepped forward without hesitation. And now you see how carefully I have guided you. Do not forget this journey. Let it become a testimony in your heart. When future uncertainties arise, remember how I carried you through this one. When doubt tries to whisper again, remember how my favor surfaced at the appointed time. When fear attempts to interrupt, recall how my peace anchored you. My beloved child, this is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter. There will be more growth, more blessing, more assignments. But you no longer walk uncertain of my faithfulness. I am with you in fulfillment just as I was with you in preparation. Hold on to that truth. And now, as this word has reached your heart, and you have witnessed how I move, I am calling you into something sacred once more. If this message strengthened you, if it awakened hope and confirmed my voice in your life, then let this light continue beyond you. I say to you now, become a river, not a reservoir. When you give through super thanks, when you join as a member, when you sow through the PayPal link in the description or the QR code shown in this video, you are placing seed into living soil that carries my word to weary souls across the world. Did I not declare that when you give, it will be given back to you, pressed down and overflowing? This is not a transaction. It is obedience that releases harvest. Do not let this moment pass if I am stirring your heart. Act now. Sow boldly. I will bless every faithful seed and multiply it beyond what you imagine. My beloved child, I seal this season with peace over your mind, strength over your heart, clarity over your path, and joy over your future. Walk forward knowing you are loved, guided, and chosen. Rest in my promises. Amen.